Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg, he's clearly a genius at engineering and marketing the company and the social technology that he practically invented. But as the company faces slowing demand and a potentially crippling set of privacy regulations, Zuckerberg reportedly was off message at an employee meeting on Friday, blasting critical news coverage of Facebook as, quote, BS. He actually used the whole word. So is it time for the company to bring in a more seasoned manager to run the social media giant, much like Google did with Eric Schmidt? Let's ask New York Post Sunday business columnist Jonathon Trugman. Jonathan, good to see you. Wouldn't it be a little risky, though, to demote the founder? I think of when Apple sent Steve Jobs packing. They learned to regret that and brought him back.
Yeah, I think that Steve Jobs was a different animal than Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, Steve Jobs was never arrogant to the degree about his client experience. Zuckerberg's completely arrogant about the client experience and what's going on. His biggest issue is he's not concerned about his users. His users can walk away. They don't pay anything. He takes their data. He sells it without much knowledge. You sign something, but you don't really know what exactly they're doing with it. And Sheryl Sandberg's kind of just there. She knows Washington well. Seems like a nice enough person, but this is a big company now. Yeah. You know, I mean, this isn't a Eric Schmidt, it's not a Steve Ballmer, it's not a Mark Cuban, kind of a wrap their arms around it, strangle the problem by the neck, own the problem. You know, denying it on Friday or fighting it off is the exact opposite of what good leadership is.
Jonathan, let me ask you, this was the company that all graduates, the data mining geniuses, wanted to go work at. We know the stock is down, morale at the company is down. How are they going to be able to attract the talent that is going to innovate Facebook into whatever it is that's going to ultimately get the stock higher?
It's an additional problem. These are the problems that bad management keeps incurring, right? So it's kind of like banana peel management. Every time there's a banana peel on the sidewalk, these guys are finding it. And it's just so simple. Like if you charge a little bit of money, a modest amount, you have your money trailing out to the bad actors. If you charge a little bit of money, you can then not need to sell so much data and violate people's privacy, et cetera, to such a degree. And he doesn't want to own his problem. She's seemingly more angry the way someone says something about how it was handled than about the actual problem.
Jonathan, can you put the genie back in the bottle? Can you start charging for Facebook after all these years? Now, the Wall Street Journal was able to do it. New York Times was able to do it, where they finally got people to pay up for quality content. But you've got to look at the clientele here. Who are the people who use Facebook? And I just don't think that you can, let me use another analogy, unscramble that egg. How do they do that without tanking the whole business?
It's a great question. So I think it's actually very doable in their circumstance, because Netflix charges $10 to $12 a month. Amazon charges $100 a year.
But you're getting something.
Agreed.
Charge
you're
and
getting
then
it for
say,
free
please
currently.
don't sell my personal information?
Well, I think people like it. If you make it a modest amount of money, you'll lose some people. But you got to run your business the right way to please your users. Maybe you'll lose some. They'll come back.
I think the concern there, though, would be if they were similar to what happened with Twitter. If they were to charge, I think you'd find out that a lot of the 2.2 billion users globally are actually not real accounts who wouldn't be paying. So that would affect their numbers, and I think that 100%. Could exacerbate the problem.
Well, but that's the truth. So dealing with you can't deal with the problem until you know the truth, right? That's good management. That's leadership.
You actually wrote an article about it on the weekend. You titled it, "To Save Itself, Facebook must start charging users." How much do you think that they should actually start charging users? And I believe that users would not do that. And then the second thing is, what about the value behind Instagram, too?
Well, I felt there were two solutions, right? So I felt a modest $5, let the seniors stay on for less, because they'll drop it the quickest. Let them see their grandkids, their nieces, nephews. That's fine. Instagram's got a lot more value than Facebook does nowadays.
Right.
But it gets to the heart of the problem. You get rid of the fake accounts. You get rid of the phony news stories or whatever else is out there, and you start addressing the problem. You can't get treated by a doctor until a doctor knows what your diagnosis is. Their diagnosis is they have bad management. Bad management's got to own their problems, Good management has to own their problems. Bad management doesn't own their problems.
But the management for Instagram is the exact same. Instagram is
a lot
owned
of them
by
have left.
Facebook. So wouldn't we still see all of the fake news on Instagram? Everybody's setting up Instagram accounts. Your BBC, all of these news organizations, Fox Business Network is on Instagram. So it's just going to shift. The problems from Facebook are going to just shift onto Instagram.
It's probably already begun, and we don't know it. Separating the two is another option. You break off the two, you create more value for your shareholders, theoretically. And now you have two companies that can operate independently. But either way, it's a management thing.
Did one of these people end up leaving and lose their job? I mean, they didn't know their own platform was being usurped. And once they were told and once they realized it, it was a slow-motion train wreck and then a slow-motion cover-up. I guess that's really only the way to describe that.
I think you're being too kind. I think they had a much better idea than a lot of people realize. They know who their customers were. Their customers weren't the users. They were the people they were selling the data to. The Cambridge Analyticas and all the others we don't know. And the advertising that was, what do they call it, geo-targeted to people. So they're working both sides of the street. And management, I guess it's okay if management's clean about it. So if you watch Netflix...
But Jonathan, on the way up, no one complained about this. I mean, and Zuckerberg could wear the hoodie. I mean, things, when the stock was going higher, it seemed like all this stuff, it seemed like all this stuff was excused when the stock was going higher. If the stock can turn around, I mean, do you think Zuckerberg will actually leave the company?
No, I don't. I think Sheryl Sandberg has a 50-50 shot. And it's not that she's not a nice person. I'm not sympathetic to her position. I just think neither one of these two have ever run a large company. I think it's probably grown up to be something a lot bigger than either one of them thought.
Mark Zuckerberg has run a large company, his own. He created it, and Sheryl Sandberg was a bigwig at Google.
He built it. He's been running it, and look at all the problems they've had as it's gotten bigger. She is obviously very smart, but at Google, she wasn't managing hundreds of thousands of people. I think she was the go-between between Washington, and she's a talent too, but something's awry. And you got to go to the corner offices in this case, and the adult in the room. I mean, for me, I'd love to see a guy like Obama who knows tech and management, a person like Mark Cuban, someone like Meg Whitman, someone who's hard charging, knows technology, and knows how to.
Zuckerberg owns all the shares.
And something's got to be done. Jonathan Trugman, we've got to leave it there. Thank you very much for being here.
My pleasure.